everybody. Today I'm going to answer a question that somebody had on my post yesterday. They said, should couples open their relationship immediately, like as soon as they get married, or even before they get married, or what if they never plan to get married? When is the right time to become polyamorous? Does this take 4 years, 10 years, 15 years? Never, because I'm never going to share my partner. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about that today. I'm not supposed to be laughing. So I'm doing my Wakanda initiation right now, and our first assignment is that we're not supposed to be laughing. So today I'm going to try not to laugh, okay? One thing that we work on is becoming completely the master of our inner animal. The animal is the one that has feelings, laughter, humor, sadness, all of the various emotions is the animal. And we love our animal. We love our emotions. But in Wakanda, we practice utilizing them at will. So, oh my God, I just laughed again. And one thing that I realized yesterday was that I laugh very often because I'm bringing very challenging messages to the world. And I've done that for a very long time. You all know, for the past 14 years. And so I laugh when I deliver the message in order to sort of soften the message, because this new culture concept is very heavy duty. So I have utilized laughter to cover up a lot of things, and I love going 4 days without laughter. So I'm going to do that in this video. You check me if I laugh. All right, so should couples open immediately? Well, how would I know? I'm just a polyamorous love coach. I've been poly for the past 12 years and married for 24 years. We coach couples who are married 10 years or more and have children. We support them in moving from monogamy to polyamory in a very succinct way. We are the best of this caliber, the best of this particular profession in the world, because I don't know any other poly love coaches who've been married as long as we have and who have the experience that we have. However, we coach thousands of couples all around the world, and today we're going to talk about should couples open immediately, and I'm not going to be laughing at all, which is almost impossible. Greetings. Thanks for joining, Stellar Goddess. Thanks for joining Keep Up with Sissy, okay? So y'all know everything is really up to the couple. Everything is up to the couple. The couple has to decide what's best for them. I cannot tell them what's best for them, but I can say that we have 4 steps to open relating. And step 1 is not sex with other people. For us, step 1 of moving your relationship to a more open format is authentic communication. Do you and your partner have a communication style wherein you can tell each other anything and hold space for any emotion in your relationship? Because if you do not, I do not recommend polyamory. If there are things that you don't want to tell your partner because it's going to cause an argument, you're not ready for polyamory. If it's things you're going to tell your partner and they're going to get mad because and they won't be soothable, and they might go off and see red and do something weird because you told them something, you're not ready for polyamory. You need a communication style that works. That's first and foremost. And that's how we support our clients. We support them in obtaining this kind of communication style. So another thing about modern couples is that we're not very developed as a nation of people, as a community. We don't have contracts in our relationship. We don't have agreements in our relationship when we're monogamous. Not many, only just don't have sex with anybody else. Okay, well, are emotional relationships okay? Can I hug a person of the opposite sex? What are your agreements? Am I allowed to be attracted to them? Do I have to tell you if I'm attracted to somebody else? I mean, clearly these agreements aren't in place because 66% of those married today are involved in adulterous affairs. So we don't have any agreements that are really working or sticking or lasting, okay? So we also don't have any training in terms of being even in monogamous relationships. In order to drive a car, you have to get a license, okay? To get married, to be a parent, you don't need a license of any sort. Just do it. Just like Nike. Just go do it. Okay? Do you have to know how to connect with another human? No. Do you have to know how to communicate with another human? No. Do you have to know anything about child rearing to have a child? No. Do you have to, so it's like the culture itself, is sort of rotting from the inside because there is no training. There are no agreements. There are no contracts. So when I take a couple and I start them out and they say, well, should we open in the first place? We get those things in order first. I'm not laughing. Did I laugh, Alex? We get those things in order first. Okay? And so that type of thing is very important. The second thing we get in order with couples is like, what's the purpose of your relationship? Why are you together? What is the purpose? To be happy? Because then you're not going to be in relationship very long, because you're not going to be happy every day with your partner. Period. I can tell you that just point blank. Well, what do you do when you're unhappy? Do you have protocols? Do you have practices? Do you have metaphysics? Do you have anything in any tool in your toolbox that's going to support you on the hard days? If you don't have that, you're not ready for poly. And so that's what we provide. But let me move on to the 3 factors to consider if you're thinking, when should we open? When should we do this? I don't know. All right. So number 1 is, have you bonded? That means, have you been through significant challenges together that have bonded you? One thing that my husband and I went through together, 2 things I'll tell you about. One is child rearing. Okay, if you never nursed the baby for 2 years and that baby is in your bed, that baby is all in your whole life, and your sex takes a back seat. Everything takes a back seat. I told y'all, when I had babies, as soon as I had the baby, my husband would smell different. And so it was like, bonding through that. Bonding through when your wife does not want to fuck you. Have you been through that? Bonding through when your husband does not want to have sex with you. Have you been through that? Have you sustained yourself through challenges? That's a big thing. I usually don't open couples who are still nursing babies, because you need to sustain that first, okay? And gather tools to get through major challenges together. Another thing my husband and I went through is major illness. So when I was in the hospital 6 months, I'm a cancer survivor. So when I was going through all of this, my husband, we showed each other that we were bonded through challenges. So if you guys are not bonded through challenges yet, where something could have really busted you guys apart and you stood through it, I don't know that you're ready to even start thinking about poly. It's like you got to see what tools you have to move through challenges before you can do that. All right. The second thing that I would highly recommend is that if you do not have a relationship contract, the purpose of your relationship, the basic principles of your relationship in place for longevity, then how are you going to become poly? You're not yet in a relationship where you understand that it's forever. When my husband and I got married, one of the principles that we had was, we don't believe in divorce. We can get through any challenge. And so that was a principle, a foundational principle in our relationship. So we help our couples come up with their foundational principles before they even consider poly. Okay? And then the third thing, I'm not laughing. I am smiling though. Okay, let me not laugh. So the third thing is to consider is that, do you have training? Are you trained in tantric sex, for instance? Can you heal your wife or your husband dealing through tantric sex? Are you an energy healer? Are you a Reiki healer? Do you have any metaphysical background? Do you have any way to tap into your own inner source, your own inner power? Because you're going to need that power when you're going through stuff. And you're going to fall on your ass many times when you move through poly. You're going to have old pain come up from your childhood. You're going to have all your insecurities exposed. You're going to have everything right there. You're going to be raw as fuck. Sorry to use curse words, but I'm allowed to use curse words. I'm just not allowed to laugh. So you're going to have tools for that. Do you have a communication system? Do you have a manifestation system? Are you and your partner making battery together, vortex together? Are you manifesting anything new? Or are you in jobs that you hate? Are you in a house that you hate? Are you in a car that you hate? Have you cultivated your power to literally change your environment? Because that's the tool you will need if you're going to be poly. Because you're stepping into a new world, a new earth. And in that earth, we have those tools. When I'm going through something emotionally, when my husband had a woman living here for 2 full years, who I was buying this, I was buying that for her. I had to hear them have sex. I had to go without a man myself. I didn't have a man at that moment. Child, I had to have tools. I had to have the first tool in place, knowing the difference between my animal, my ego, and my higher self. I had to know how to heal myself when I was having a rough night. I had to understand what to do and understand how to support myself through those types of scenarios. Or else I would have just banged on a door, went in there, and kicked that bitch out. Now, I'm trying to tell you guys, this requires a new entire framework of thought. It requires knowing that I am one with all things and beings, that I create my life, that I am not the emotions of my animal, that I am not the thoughts of my ego. This is a culture, folks. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not as simple as, when should we do it? It's a question of, do you have the tools to master this? Are you into self-mastery? Are you into self-work? Because, that's the only way. Hubby, too, who moved in here for the first 4 to 5 years, he was not into personal work. And at that time, he was like, no, I don't want you to be with anybody else. No, anybody who's not into personal work is going to say, no, I don't want you to do that. Why? Because they don't want to get rattled. They don't have the tools to deal with being rattled. They don't have the tools to deal with their inner stuff that's going to come up. So it's not that they don't want you to be free. It's that they don't have the tools. They know it. And they're not interested in the tools. So anybody who say, I don't want you to do that. No, we're not going to do that. They're not living in the universe that you have to live in for this. Okay? So this is all that I wanted to share today. If you ask me, what are the factors to consider when opening? Those are it. And I know that's some heavy science, but I just, I want to be as honest as possible. I mean, you got to have what it takes, buddy. And that's exactly what I provide for my clients and initiates. If you're interested in doing no laughter like me for 4 days and a whole year's worth of initiation material and content, you should be a part of Wakanda. I'm sending out an email tomorrow because somebody asked me, can white people join Wakanda? What? Wakanda is for humans. So I didn't, I'm laughing. See, now I'm laughing because that's a challenging topic, you see? So I always utilize humor to soften a challenging topic. And that's not necessarily the best course of action, because I can also use my solar plexus to just push through it and to own it and to stand in it, right? Laughter makes it such that I don't have to figure out why am I uncomfortable about sharing that any race of any people, any human can be a part of my systems. Because I don't believe in race. I am a human being. Okay? A human being in a female body. I believe in 9 genders. My gender is monk, soldier, soldier. So I have 2 masculines and an androgynous. So I don't even have the same system as the West. So I don't even do, they created that race system here. That's not my system. Okay? So yeah. Anyway, I'll send an email out about that tomorrow. But if there are any further questions, y'all just let me know. You know I'm always here for you, and you know that I love talking to y'all. We will cover another question. Anytime you have questions, leave them for me. Check my stories, turn on notifications, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, get over to the Academy. Check out my webinar on Wakanda. It's free for 30 minutes. You can check it out. Go to the links that I have in my profiles. I love you guys, and I'm always happy to serve as we build this new culture, which is inevitability. I am inevitability. The new day is inevitable. The new culture is inevitable. We will love on a more expanded basis. We will create a scenario where people are masters of self-mastery. Bye, y'all. I love you. Kisses. I'm not laughing. We moving beyond what you see today. This is just an illusion. You looking around and say, oh, I don't like this. And with that very thought, you create something new. That's how fast it goes, y'all. We in the quickening. We don't have no time for all this separation, segregation. Oh, this is my wife, my husband. Don't touch my human. Come on now.